you. And this afternoon, I spoke with a Jacksonville University professor who says that if a deal is not reached by midnight, a lot of store shelves could be empty within a matter of days. Jim Mirabella, a professor of decision sciences at Jacksonville University, says the ripple effect of a strike could be devastating to our nation's supply chain.
I think this is worse than the pandemic, and yet people don't even see it coming.
The International Longshoremen's Association is threatening to strike at 12:01 Tuesday morning if a deal isn't reached. That would mean about 45,000 dock workers along the East and Gulf Coast would stop working.
The longshoremen who basically take the containers off of the ships and load them into the trains and whatnot, they are asking for two things: more money, and they want less automation because their jobs are being replaced by robots.
Mirabella says he's been stocking up on frozen produce and canned goods because if the strike happens, consumers would likely start to feel the impacts of it within a couple of days.
56% of all imports to this country come in on the East Coast, and it's all the East Coast ports from Boston down to Texas that are affected. West Coast is fine, but all the East Coast are. So if more than half of what we get overseas is not coming in, there's a problem. And that means anything we want to get on this side of the country has to be shipped from the West, which means they're going to pay more for it because now you have to pay for the fuel cost and whatnot. I expect the shelves to empty out.
And he says imports of lumber and steel would also be affected, impacting the construction industry, and the retail and auto industries would feel the pinch too.
45 to 50% of all of our auto sales come from overseas. They won't be coming in. So all the car sales are going to go away, the clothing sales are going to go away, and like I said, our produce is going to be hurt. It's going to be bad, and people aren't preparing for it.
And again, they have until midnight to reach a deal. If the strike happens and it was deemed a danger to the economic health of the U.S., President Biden could potentially seek a court order for an 80-day cooling-off period that would suspend the strike. But the president has signaled he would not exercise that power. And we did reach out to Jacksport today. It expects the strike would impact about a third of its business, but tells us none of its 172 direct employees are ILA union members.